One of the most prolific anti-heroes in comic book history. One that can regenerate with nanites and kill people in a variety of cool ways. What happens if Mr. Family himself, Vin Diesel, gets a hold of this IP and him and the production team decide to make a film on it? Well, we get this, 2020's Bloodshot. A film that, I don't really know what to say about this on a critical level. A lot of fans didn't like it. A lot of critics just absolutely hated it. Is this a bad film? Let me put it this way. I enjoy this film in the same way I enjoy a subpar to bad Michael Bay film. There's a lot to enjoy about it, despite it being not that good. We have a main character who is pretty much played the same way Vin Diesel plays every single other character in his career. We have a villain who is very generic. CGI fights that look very CGI. We have nameless bad guys who you don't care about and are not likable. And you do have eye candy, like Isa Gonzalez, who looks hot, probably at the hottest she's ever looked. God damn, is she fine. But none of these characters are ultimately that great. When I was first watching this film, I'm like, wait a minute, am I watching a self-aware movie right now? This movie is about a dude whose wife gets killed in front of him, and he gets nearly killed, and he's brought back, resuscitated by a company who gives him nanite abilities. Abilities to regenerate, superhuman strength, all that type of shit. He's the ultimate soldier. It's about him on a hero's journey to find revenge. He meets a sexy woman along the way who he finds swimming, who guides him and is a friend, possible love interest. And you see him training on a heavy bag, training him to find himself, to fulfill his destiny, to be the soldier. That is the most cliche story I've ever heard. But it is revealed by this guy that this was all an illusion. This was a reality that they implanted into his mind. They programmed these memories into him. So they can have this dude kill all the targets that they want dead. It's brilliant. It's genius. And it's literally stated in the film that they were using cliches and tropes from movies to fool this dude. Guy Pearce literally has a scene where he's saying, we used every cliche in the book to get this guy on our side. And I was like, wait a minute. I might be the dumb one now. This movie might be high IQ. This might be the smartest action movie ever. It plays on every single cliche an action movie with a superhero character like this could have. But as soon as Vin Diesel finds out the truth of the situation, and he decides, okay, I'm getting revenge on this guy now, the whole movie becomes what it was trying to parody in a way, through these implanted memories. And we basically get the same film. We basically get the same film with Isa Gonzalez being the female character working for this corrupt corporation who feels bad and feels guilty and decides to turn against them in alliance with the hero, and she basically becomes a surrogate love interest in a way. It's literally it's still the most cliche shit you've ever seen. The display of the powers is cool. Now, I've heard that they don't even show half of the true powers of this guy. They don't show half of the capabilities of this man, but there are some shots that look really cool. This shot, the shot where he gets his face blown off and it regenerates, there are some nice action scenes in this. Okay? It actually has a lot of potential as a film. Unfortunately, it lacks the depth and the darkness that I've heard the original Bloodshot character in the comics had. And it's basically Vin Diesel playing it safe. Playing the same exact character, without the flaws, without the depth. He's like a righteous soldier in this. And this movie doesn't use the psychology of what made the comics great. What is real? This is a story that could have been a psychological thriller of our main character trying to decide what is real. Because every memory I could have could be implanted by a corrupt organization. I don't know what's real anymore, right? It could have fucked with the audience, but it didn't go to those places. I think, looking back on Bloodshot, this kind of movie would have worked perfectly if it kind of followed a similar formula to Upgrade, especially with the way it ends. Here's how we're gonna fix this, y'all. There's a way to make a great movie out of Bloodshot. I would keep 70% of the current plot of this movie the same. Alright? The whole, there's a twist where your memories have been implanted by this corrupt organization and you need to stop them type thing. I think we can keep that. That's like comic book accurate anyways. Here's what we're gonna do. Instead of nameless thugs who are just unlikable and just douchebags, we're gonna have one villain who's like a broken reflection of our main character, who is another super soldier, not with the same powers but similar enough, who is insane and unhinged, kind of like the villain from Elysium, who kind of is similar to the main character but is a complete schizophrenic. Someone like that who hates Vin Diesel's character, who hates Bloodshot, because Bloodshot is the perfect soldier now. He's the perfect version of what our villain is, and the villain hates and resents him and despises him because of that. And this is a rivalry between them. I know a character like this exists in the Bloodshot comics. I haven't read them. I don't read the Bloodshot comics. I'm just assuming that it is. All right? Guy Pearce, your character is not scary. Nothing about him is deep. He's generic. There's no aura to him. One way you could have fixed him is you could have made Guy Pearce, who's seemingly this pathetic human who's a coward, you could actually make a twist where his character is an AI avatar of a broader AI program that memory wipes Vin Diesel all the time. Its main ability is to memory wipe Vin Diesel's character. This could be like the character of the AI, the character of the father in one of the Bloodborne comics. This AI program that's able to destroy Vin Diesel's mind, to destroy Bloodshot's mind essentially, and brain wipe him. And he doesn't know what is real. And this is where the psychological thriller aspect of this film could kick in. We could have really gone into the depths of this man's soul here, with this AI constantly changing realities for Bloodshot not knowing what's real. That's like the ultimate villain. This is a villain you can't fight with your fists. This would send Bloodshot into a mental frenzy. And similar to the movie Upgrade, spoiler alert for Upgrade, basically this guy gets powers due to this AI chip that's implanted in him that basically helps him with combat, helps him with making decisions and all this stuff. It basically tells him what to do. But secretly this AI has been the thing that's been planning his downfall all along, because this AI takes control of his body over the end and sends the human guy's mind to this heavenly delusion plane where he's able to meet his dead girlfriend, while he takes over the AI takes over the body and enacts doomsday on everyone else. It's a fucked up doomer ending. This movie doesn't need to go that depressing, but this movie could be this movie could end with Bloodshot thinking he's won and trying to end it all, maybe even trying to off himself to stop this whole thing, and the AI just resetting his mind wiping him, and us not knowing what's real, and him not knowing it's real. And then it leaves, even though he technically loses to the AI at the end before destroying it, this is a perfect sequel setup for him to regain his memories and maybe open up the universe to other characters from this comic book universe that fans wanted to see. That's how I would have done it. Does anyone agree? I don't read the Bloodshot comics. This is my best crack at trying to make this film better, but this is like a great way to make it not generic. First of all, villains winning in superhero movies automatically makes them better at times, okay? We've seen it in The Dark Knight, we've seen it in Watchmen. Not winning as in they kill the hero, I'm saying winning as in they win the ultimate mental battle. You know what I mean? They win the philosophical battle. So that could have been a great way to twist things up. No Isa Gonzalez. You don't need her in this film. I like the idea of her being used as a cliche in his memory bank. This hot chick who's convincing you this is real. But her whole turning, it's like it's too predictable. Remove her and just have it about Vin Diesel. About Bloodshot. That's what I would do, y'all. This movie could have been goated. But they just, Hollywood, it's very clear they're afraid to take risks. They're afraid to take the audiences places that they're not that comfortable with. And I can understand it from a business perspective, but I truly think that you could have made something special here if you had delved into the psychological thriller aspect of things and had the audience themselves question what is real. Some Shutter Island level shit. Shutter Island / Inception. That's what I'm talking about. That's where Bloodshot needed to go in my eyes. Besides the fighting and the action sequences that were... I think you could keep a lot of what's in this Bloodshot film and just add on it by changing up the ending and removing some parts that bog it down. And making the villains better. Those are my thoughts on that, alright? If you want to know why Vin Diesel is possibly using AI to bring back Paul Walker for the next Fast and Furious, you can watch that video over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.